Good morning, traders. And this is your Aussie day trade setup for today. A South African top 40. Now we've ended up with a pretty much a hanging man at the moment, or a range bar. You can see long tail to the upside, long tail to the downside. A small body that's pretty much indecision. Okay, the body's a little bit bigger than this, but it finally we have had a close above this fractal level. That's kind of validating this flag. But obviously we need to clear the top of the flag, which is up here, before it's truly validated. So I would still expect some kind of a pullback. Yeah, this price action at the moment doesn't fill me with much conviction that this thing is moving. So this last bar here is a nonsense data. As you can see, first move of the day was down and then up. Okay, and the other thing is it wasn't quite onto any structure. Okay, just missed this level here. But I mean, we had a Brooks gap there, which you could argue is probably where the aim was. But you would have expected some price action around this level here, and it shot through there. So whether we are forming a rounding top here on the 3-hour and maybe a double top of sort, not 100% sure. Though we do have a bit of divergence here. You can see there's a new high and that made a low. So I'm still would like to be trading with the trend, which is up at the moment. But I do also want to see some kind of structure before I jump into the Aussie at the moment. And still not seeing anything. Okay, so if we just move that to there, you'll see what I mean. So we have a potential triple top here. Okay, also, the stochastics here are indicating that there was an opportunity down the bottom. And you can see what happened is we lined up with the 1-hour Brooks gap here, and that was the buying area. Okay, so I mean, just shows you that your 3 and 4 hours where you want your big levels to, and you can always just fine tune them on the hour, which will then give you the logic that you're looking for. Trend is still up, so you can see low, high lows, high lows, high lows, high lows. So that is the current trend. This range it's forming is probably the next thing it needs to break. So we need to get through, not necessarily this fractal here, but all 3 of these highs. Problem that I have is high, higher high, lower high. Okay, start of a rounding top. Could even call it a head and shoulders if you wanted to, but that is a potential reversal pattern that is playing, or not playing out, but it is starting to form. And obviously we'll need to drop below 52,000 for it to be validated. A drop at below 52,000 is also going to give us more than likely a retest of the wedge break, which would be ideal. Okay, so with all of that in mind, and you have a look at what happened yesterday on the 12-minute, you can see we were above. Didn't quite close above this fractal. That was a fractal we were looking for yesterday. Didn't quite close off that. We rejected it. Okay, this formed your next fractal because you had another high here. So there were your fractals that you needed to watch. So as soon as we broke above these areas here, you'd be forgiven to thinking that you had a long entry. But immediately it reversed, came back down. And this is why I also, when I'm looking at fractal breaks, I'm also looking at price action, so the stochastics here. But yesterday was a really topsy-turvy day. I wasn't even bothered with this. I didn't even look at it after our video. So, yeah. Anyway, what we do have forming potentially here is an inverse head and shoulders as well. So we do have a potential head and shoulders to the bottom, and we have a potential inverse head and shoulders. Here's the shoulder, here's the head, a little bit of a pullback, and then back to the neckline, which would give us a break to the upside. Regardless, this is your range. Okay, so Let me just delete that one. So there is your range. That is what you're looking to either trade or break today. Okay, Tencent is down 0.5% or 0.6% at the moment, so that may add a bit of fuel to the fire for us. But as far as I'm concerned, trend is up. We should be looking for longs, and we'll look at the Ichimoku to see if anything's changed. But if it ranges like this, I'm really not interested in it. It's going to need to break above or below the highs and lows of yesterday for me to look at anything at the moment. It's a 400-point range at the moment, but it's just not. It's messy. There's no structure to help you trade with it. So even the breaks below the moving averages here, you could see break below, then you see a test there. Your trigger would have been a break below here, though. So the short trigger would have been below this level here. But we've broken back above the moving averages, so it's up and down, big confusion. It's big up, big down, big confusion. If we just move across to the Ichimoku, okay, 12 minutes, not much. Currently, we are bullish, but we are going horizontal, so I wouldn't read too much into that just yet. Half hour, bearish, nothing, mixed signals. Okay, 1 hour, we are bullish signals, but flat Kijisen, flat Tekinson, that is arranging, which is clearly what's going on. And if we look at the 4 hour, Tekinson is running away from Kijisen. Remember, whenever we see that, that's a warning sign. We want to be very cautious about that. One thing we do have here is up, down to test levels, and then back up again. So this could be a continuation pattern. So up, down, up. Could be a continuation pattern. Trend is up. Anything's possible. Because I don't like the structure that we see. Okay, if we look at the Kijisen and Tekinson on the daily, everything is bullish. But again, we are horizontal, which is just indicating range. So on the daily, this could also just turn out to be one big range. Okay, so I need to see some more structure. I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. Let's go back here. So you can see we've got these levels here, there, and there. So the high and low of yesterday is what we're looking for. Okay, so the high of yesterday is pretty much a 12-minute fractal. It's an hour fractal. I think it's even a 4-hour fractal, if I'm correct. No, not quite. But we do have a fractal on the 4-hour, which was this high here. So we have quite a few fractals above the moving averages in an upward trend. So a break above the high of yesterday would get us some longs, but I think the price action is going to be pretty choppy. It's going to be exactly like it has been the last couple of days. Big ups, big downs, big confusions, but overall the trend is up. So with that, you can probably safely buy the dips. Any dip that come in, you can buy, but you want to be taking your profit as often as possible. Okay, for me today, Aussie doesn't excite me. I think the US markets are offering a little bit more value with the trade news as well as the some good results that are coming through. So that's where my focus is going to be, is on the US markets and possibly one or two currency pairs. But today, not on the Aussie. Okay. Anyway, guys, hope that helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.